Hey, you guys, welcome back to Rocket City Yardstead. I've had a busy day so far, and I thought I would just kind of take you guys around for some of the things I need to do today. So, I will show you, I bought some seeds earlier at Rural King, but I've been in here watering my seedlings. Lots of tomatillos and tomatoes up already. I don't know how well it comes through with this lid on, but none of my peppers have germinated yet. So I'm just keeping them warm with my seed mat here and making sure the soil stays moist. But I have two trays of peppers, hot peppers and sweet peppers. One of the seed varieties I got at Rural King today was loofah. I might actually be a little bit late to be starting this because I've heard they can take a long time. But I have 2 cups in this one tray of peppers that don't have anything in them. And so I am going to add some loofah to those, make sure they're good and watered in, and hope that we'll get some loofahs this year. So I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I always like to see the seeds other people are buying and planting in their gardens. And so if you watched my gardening video last week, I talked about planting peas. One of the varieties I planted was these green arrow peas. I had just composted the garden and planted the peas, and then we got a very, very heavy rain, and a bunch of my peas were washed to the surface. I guess the rain made the compost settle a bit, and they were sort of sitting on the surface and really bleached looking, and so I thought I might need to try planting them again. Better to have more seeds just in case. And then I also mentioned in that video that I had planted some leeks. Those seeds were several years old, and my understanding is that things in the allium family actually don't last very long as seeds, that those seeds tend to go bad faster than a lot of other varieties. So I went ahead and got another packet of leek seeds, and we'll get those out in the garden. I need to go out this afternoon and work. And then I bought some other things that it's not time to plant yet, but we love green dragon burpless cucumbers. And since they had seeds at Rural King, I got them. I thought it was very interesting, and I couldn't find anywhere if it said if they were having a sale or not, but the packages say $2.99, but all of the seeds were half the price the package says. They must be having a sale. I love nasturtiums. They're one of my favorite flowers. And the Alaska dwarf ones are my favorite because I love their variegated leaves. I just think they're so beautiful. So I went ahead and got some of those so that I can put them in the garden when it's time. And then I'm not 100% sure if we're going to grow this or not. I'm going to have to really take stock of all of my trellis space. But this Thunbergia is just so beautiful. And we do have a lot of trellises. And so I thought I would grow it. This one is a variety called African Sunset. Thunbergia is also known as black-eyed Susan vine. That is my tiny little seed haul for the day. I am about to make some lunch because I haven't eaten anything at all today. And I need to get out in the garden and work. And it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so that's probably not ideal that I haven't eaten, but I thought I would bring you along for making this salad. It's one of our favorites. It's sort of a St. Louis classic. I grew up with my mom making it for potlucks all the time. It's called Rich and Charlie salad. It's from a restaurant, and I just thought you guys might be interested. So let's make a salad. You guys, this salad is so easy, but it's beloved in our family. I think at least for me, it's very nostalgic for my childhood. But I have a head of romaine here that I chopped up, washed, and ran through my salad spinner. And then I have some chopped roasted red peppers here. The recipe calls for, what's the word I want here? Y'all, my brain just is not working. It's because it's 2 o'clock and I haven't eaten anything. It calls for like diced pimentos that you buy in a jar. But I have roasted red peppers in the freezer from my garden, and so I just use those. It calls for thinly sliced red onion, so I'm just gonna get a little bit of that. And then the two veggies that are sort of different, at least I think so. I've never seen a salad that called for it before, is heart of palm. Heart of palm has sort of become a thing, I think, of late. I've seen the heart of palm pasta at the store. I've never bought any, but for me, this recipe, this salad is where we always had heart of palm. And you always hoped you got a nice amount of it in your salad because it's so good. The next thing we need is some artichoke hearts. The recipe does not call for marinated artichokes, but that's what I have. And so it just adds a little extra flavor. And these marinated artichokes from Costco are so good. So I'm just gonna fish these out of my jar and chop them up into bite-sized pieces. The last things you really need to make it a rich and Charlie salad are Parmesan cheese. I actually am still not doing dairy, and so I found a recipe online for a cashew Parmesan cheese. I'll link that below in case you're interested. But if you can have dairy, just use Parmesan cheese. I will say, I don't know that I would say it tastes like Parmesan, but it gives the right texture to the salad, and that is important, I think. We've really enjoyed the salad with this cashew Parmesan. What was in it? It's cashews and nutritional yeast and salt, I think. Oh, and garlic powder. And then just blended it up in the food processor until it was kind of the consistency of Parmesan cheese. But then we need some red wine vinegar. We need some oil. And we need some salt and pepper. And this is really it. It's so simple. It comes together really quickly, but it's delicious. Quick salad to throw together. It is delicious. Taste of my childhood, taste of St. Louis. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to digging into this. So I'm going to chop up some salami so we can pop it on top. And then I'm going to eat lunch and go work in my garden. I thought before we dig into our salads, I would just give you guys a peek. So pretty, so delicious. I'm very hungry and looking forward to this. So I'm gonna eat lunch and then I will see you guys in a little bit. If you watched my video last week where I was out in the garden, I planted onions and carrots, and you will have heard me say we had a big wind event coming the next day. And last year, my onions all kind of got pulled out of the ground and blown over. That happened again this year. So one of the things I need to do today is replant probably about half of my onions. So I'm going to show you guys what they're looking like currently, and then I'm going to get them replanted. As you can see, my onions are all laying over here. Lots of them pulled fully out of the ground, and so I get them replanted a little deeper this time. And here you can see some of my peas are starting to come up out of the soil, and also spinach. So this is not a fun thing to talk about. I thought that I had eradicated the ants. They weren't all over the surface anymore. And I took the rake and I pulled soil back, and they had just gone deeper, but this bed is still just full of ants. So if you have ever successfully eradicated fire ants from your garden, please, please share with me your tips, because I am at such a loss and I need my garden back. So you guys, I decided to put together another one of my raised beds since the ants have interfered with my planting plans. But I wanted to show you guys, I have come across a defect in one of my beds. Not a big deal, I hope. Something they can just send me a new part. So I'm going to show you. This is real life. I'm not filming this like really far in advance. So I will let you know as soon as I find out how they are with customer service, because this is where I'm going to need to call them. but I want to show you what is wrong with my bed. These rectangular beds have these corner brackets. I actually really like them. You can see that they are corrugated, and so the corrugated side pieces fit in nice and flush in here. You know, they're metal and they're bent, and there's a seam. My lighting is not great here. So there's a seam right along here on these corner pieces. The piece that I am installing currently, and you see it came completely unattached there. So I am going to need to contact Anleolife and see if they will replace this piece. Well, you guys, you might notice I am not in my raised bed garden area. I just got bit by ants in a different part of the garden. Not my favorite thing. And I'm just going to call it a day. I'm a little bit reluctant to even record this because, you know, I feel like in general for people who are putting themselves out there on YouTube, we try and show the joy and the fun of whatever it is we're posting about. So for me, that's gardening and cooking, preserving food, you know, but the reality is that sometimes you just have a bad day. Today has been a little bit of a bummer. And I feel a little bit like Debbie Downer, but between the ants that I had hoped were gone and the defects in my bed and now getting bit by ants, it's just been a little bit of a bummer of a day. And so I'm gonna call it a day, gonna go in, get a cool drink, relax, and, you know, just reset. Tomorrow's supposed to be beautiful again, and so I will come out here and start afresh, right? But I think it's important to be real and show that it doesn't always go according to plan, right? There are problems that arise, there are things that need to be troubleshooted, and I'm just having one of those days. So I'm gonna put it out here and be real about it. So if you've made it this far, thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you're not having a bummer of a day, but a beautiful day. And I will see you next time. Bye.